David Heil, thank you for being with us today. The hiring committee, which is the voters in your district, have several important questions for you as a candidate for Sandoval County Commission District 4. They are looking for the person who is best qualified to represent them and most aligned with their values. Please keep all responses solely on yourself and not about other candidates for this position. You will have 1 minute to introduce yourself and then have 2 minutes per question. You will be signaled when there are 30 seconds left to conclude your response. Are you ready to get started?
I am ready.
All right. Please state your name as it will appear on the ballot and tell us about yourself and why you're running.
Well, the name is David J. Heil. My background, I've got 40 plus years of experience in budgeting, planning, staffing, setting policy, etc. Began my career in the trucking industry and eventually transitioned as a transportation manager to a computer industry. And then in that particular company, I moved up the ranks into various logistic positions. And when I took early retirement, I then became the vice president of a small minority woman-owned business and helped them grow significantly. And then later, as a manager of a veteran-owned business, continued to be involved in business and help grow local business in our community.
Thank you. What, if any, tax increases should be considered to help balance and maintain the Sandoval County budget?
I don't see a need for increasing taxes. What we do need to do is we need to work on increasing the tax base, not increasing individual taxes. It's very important that we have a balance between residential and commercial properties. It costs the government about $1.30 for every $1 of taxes for residential, and costs the government about 30 to 50 cents for every dollar of income from commercial. So what we need to do is to increase the number of commercial businesses so that we don't have to increase taxes in our community.
Okay. Considering Local Economic Development Act, or LEDA, how should these funds be used? Specifically, who should they go to? How should they be determined? And what controls should be in place for their use?
Well, first of all, they need to be, businesses need to apply for the use of LEDA funds. And the way that works is businesses come to the county, they're searching for assistance so that they can increase jobs. And so when the county makes a decision on whether to provide LEDA funds for a particular business, it's based on their commitment to increase jobs. So the county then goes through a whole process of evaluating companies who may request assistance. And in doing that, there's a whole interviewing process to determine whether it's the best qualified business to be able to, that the county should actually invest their funds in. Now, so far, we've done 4 companies, all of which are economic-based companies, and that's one of the criteria for a portion of the economic development funds is that they be economic-based businesses. All of those, by the way, today are continuing on the track, even in this coronavirus situation, to increase the jobs that they have committed to. There was a last part of that question.
What controls should be in place for the use of those funds?
Well, the controls that are in place is that whole interview process. I mean, it's quite a lengthy process. The Director of Economic Development does a considerable review, and then the Then it's brought to the county commission for review for approval.
Okay, good. Do you support the county passing employment-related ordinances that have to do with such things as minimum wage, personnel work scheduling, or mandatory paid leave? Please answer yes or no and explain your answer.
Well, the paid leave, I would say no. And the reason I would say that is they tend to dissuade businesses from wanting to move to a community. So I think they're counterproductive. Good businesses already provide those kind of benefits, et cetera, to their employees. There were two other items on that beside the paid leave. Minimum wage.
Minimum wage?
I think, again, if that's too excessive, it dissuades business, and so it becomes counterproductive. I think people need to be paid based on what their proficiencies are, what their capabilities are. When you just pay people an increase to show up, it's not to the advantage of the general growth of business in your community.
Okay, and what about personnel work scheduling?
Well, I think when you are imposing on a business a forced scheduling process, you're, again, dissuading a business from wanting to be in your community. I mean, there's certain requirements of any job that you have to be able to schedule people based on the need to serve, whether it be a customer base or some other process that you need to serve. You know, you need to be in a situation where the manager of the business needs to be able to determine what the scheduling is to make efficient use of resources, labor, products, materials, etc.
Okay, thank you. What's the single most important thing that should be done to improve the business environment in Sandoval County?
Well, I'd like to say that I'm not saying that we've done it all, but we've certainly made a great progress in creating new jobs. Not only the Economic Development Fund, I was a lead negotiator on the Intel IRB, which allowed Intel to hire at least 300 new employees, plus a lot of contract jobs to help support what they were doing. Our negotiation with US RMC, that's the UNM Hospital, for behavioral health, substance abuse, and level 3 trauma. There again, we're increasing medical jobs in the community. One of the things that we are doing right now with regard to looking forward, getting through this COVID situation, I initiated economic gardening program and set that up as a measurement for Sandoval Economic Alliance to identify businesses that they could help grow out of as we come out of COVID. And we're looking forward to a lot of potential there. Also, another item, a measurable item for them that we established was the identification of very-ready sites. You know, Rio Rancho, being the economic engine, has this problem where they have a lot of dispersed ownership of property. And we've got to find a way to identify properties that are of interest when we're trying to attract new business to the community.
Good. In 2 minutes or less, please state your name again as it will appear on the ballot and tell the hiring committee why you believe you are the best candidate to represent the people of Sandoval County Commission District 4.
Thank you for that opportunity. Dave Heil. It's David J. Heil for the ballot, but you'll see my signs around the community as Dave Heil. I have 40+ years of experience in managing, planning, budgeting, staffing, etc., which is exactly what county commissioners do. You've got to be able to have a good experience in managing budgets to make effective use of the tax dollars so that the taxpayers are getting the best return on their funds. In fact, I was doing some recent review of some of our information on the county staffing. We have the best ratio of employees to number of residents in the community. We run a very lean organization. And the way we're able to do that is we're able to do that by providing or contracting through areas of expertise, like labor attorneys, financial advisors, experts in lobbying, both at a federal and state level. So Sandoval County is the fastest growing county in the state, and it's there because of the experienced leadership. We have to keep it going and growing to be sure that we can continue to grow jobs. We can continue to resolve some of the issues, by the way, that were left behind to us, like a third world detention center that people were escaping from, and the deplorable conditions that were left in that particular situation is just one of the issues that we've had to resolve. So having experience is critical. So Sandoval County cannot afford to elect inexperience and then resort to the missteps and the mismanagement of the past. Dave Heil for Sandoval.com. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave Heil. The hiring committee, the voters of New Mexico in your district, will let you know on November 3rd if you have been selected to fill the position. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Carla, for the opportunity.